4. Apartment case, 3515 to 3585 Monroe Street, LLC v. Fayad, case number 25 CV 471294, 25 714 8816 2, small. An eviction lawsuit was filed against me despite full payment of all required amounts. I experienced severe confusion and contacted several attorneys, including James L. R. Smith's office, who gave great hope then abandoned me humiliatingly. After exhaustive communication and answering all questions, I believed I had representation, only for him to ghost me without apology. I was forced to represent myself, preparing a massive file covering 1/4 of events over 15+ days of nonstop work. At court to file my response, I faced mistreatment and paid undeserved $225 fees. The clerk's window staff took my originals but refused to return them, citing a broken printer. B. Separate complaint. Misconduct at Superior Court of Santa Clara County, August 6, 2025. In addition to the above, I file a formal complaint regarding court staff mistreatment in processing documents for case number 25 CV 471294. On July 23, 2025, 2 visits. The clerk's window staff withheld originals, directed me to the copier for printed copies, and refused a $225 illegal fee refund despite an approved free request. The unnamed document copier demanded fees for free copies, 41 cents per page, treated me mockingly, deliberately disorganized my files, and exhibited discriminatory behavior. His demeanor changed upon hearing my name, Mohamed, and demanded unnecessary ID, unlike his kind treatment of others, indicating racial bias. I obtained matching copies only after insisting on free access due to my age and low income. I received an undated notice for an unlawful eviction trial on September 18, 2025 at 8 a.m. in Department 4 without attached requests or interrogatories. Mailed July 26, 2025. I received it days before trial. My files were disorganized, forcing rushed evidence preparation, only 1/4 submitted. Plus, days before trial, I visited court for originals and new copies. Copier and clerk staff were extremely rude. The copier told me to return the next day, leaving me deeply frustrated, like being in the Middle East. As an elderly man, unable to return, I felt exhausted and defeated. I also discovered my documents held little value, expecting the trial favored Monticello. Additionally, court documents were tampered with. I received 3 documents from Monticello's attorney, Sherry Tan, 30 interrogatories, 20 requests, 35 admissions, due 30+ days pre-trial, but emailed 5 days before. I responded to her 1 day prior. C. September 16, 2025, 2 days before trial. 2 days before trial, I was drowning in stress and exhaustion. Sleepless, eyes bloodshot from all-nighters, fingers flipping endlessly through papers, trying to organize my defense in a case rigged against me. Thoughts, tangled like endless knots. Delayed emails with backdated notices deliberately sabotaged my preparations, flooding me in chaos. The ground seemed to close in as trial loomed mercilessly. Overwhelmed, I arrived at court in despair, mind scattered, spirit crushed, wondering if my preparations would survive the disarray. During the September 18, 2025 trial, standing in court, the floor felt unsteady. The Monticello manager stared with terrifying confidence, as if victory was assured. Her arrogant gaze sent chills. I felt powerless as she exploited judicial ties, while I stood alone, unrepresented. Sleep deprivation muddled my mind. Words stumbled, thoughts evaporated. Every sentence I uttered was exploited by Zifran, amplifying my vulnerability. Justice itself seemed to turn away. September 18, 2025 trial, a farcical charade. My exhaustive efforts to refute the injustice were for naught. I prepared extensive files, attached, and attended court hoping for fairness. But they had a forged report, originals with me, plus my massive self-defense effort. Suddenly, my name was called for roll in Department 4. The judge sat high. I stood alone, with my tampered file differing from my original. I prepared new petitions exposing Superior Court corruption. To my right, Monticello's team with their attorney, the gallery packed with apparent jurors. A quick, vague jury mention. I'll give you time to settle. Dazed, the judge hadn't reviewed my case or allowed defense, seeming to have side deals with opponents. A woman claimed to be the judge's mediator for settlement. I reluctantly agreed. My demands were clear in the forged petition attached. I said, as judge's mediator, you know my demands. I have more. Can you review and deliver to the judge? She replied, summarize and give to me. Realizing she was the opponent's, I lost interest, focused on the court's moral decay.
She shuttled back and forth with naive questions like, what do you think the judge will decide? I replied, with the opponent. But, I know the judge well, how to continue this farce.
Injustice will prevail. My case isn't over. I won't relinquish my rights. By God's will, he will triumph over earthly devils. This caused psychological distress, file disorganization hindering my case, and financial harm. I believe this constitutes negligence, discrimination, ethical violations, and potential federal crimes, e.g. document fraud. Demands regarding court misconduct. Formal investigation by the Commission on Judicial Performance into copier staff and clerk conduct. 2. Compensation for wasted time, effort, illegal fees, and emotional distress. 3. Court-funded reprinting and reorganization of documents, including unsubmitted evidence. 4. Disciplinary actions to prevent recurrence. 5. Referral to FBI and U.S. Department of Justice for review. Support in suing the Superior Court, clerk, and copier staff, including access to their information. 7. Serious consideration to ensure justice and protect citizens from obstruction. Thank you for your urgent attention. I look forward to your prompt response. With utmost respect, Dr. Mohamed Fayad. Signature.